already know, they're gonna say all kinds of crap. But they will never engage in the conversation with me. They won't do it. And if I ever try to have a conversation, I want to take down these lights. As you can see, blue lights flashing miraculously. Just as soon as I, what bus is that? No, that's not the one that I need. Oh, okay. Notice how that happens, just so happens as I get down here. Understand, they support Agenda 21. The same thing being used to strip the freedom away from the people. You saying it's 57, sir? 57. All right. Again, they're being paid to talk about that. That's exactly what they're doing. They're being paid to do that. That's exactly what this is. They are paid to do that. Just want to make sure I get a good look, get a good shot of that. Remember the street theater. Remember all the stuff that they normally do. Understand the colors that they wear are blue and red. The colors that they are paid to actually carry around are blue and red. They do this, they're always pretty much 90% of the time be on their phone as they're doing it. They support human trafficking. They support people being laced with RFID chips. They support a lot of discrediting attempts. They support a lot of this stuff. This one of my greatest fears was that children were actually being used in several different cases, and unfortunately it was true. And I'm afraid some of them may have lost their lives due to the bullshit of this organization. This is as you can see right there. That's just coincidentally that a person just so happened to be passing by in my line of sight as I'm sitting down. They got someone outside recording right now, I guarantee you. And they're gonna show that to somebody. See, you see this? That's exactly how they do this. They're not gonna say anything, but they know who they are. And I'm not afraid to fucking speak out about it. And all I'm gonna say is this: you got some shit to say? Then fine, let's go ahead and discuss it. And watch me roast the fuck out of you. Just go ahead. I'm using my right as far as freedom of speech, and I say the truth as it is. Now, they're not gonna respond at all due to fear of being exposed. And in this case, when the target speaks out, the tactic they're going to use is either, oh, he's just crazy, to discredit him as mentally ill if he starts to seek out help. And pretty much that. There's also to get him to brand it as an image to look out as a crip, saying, oh, we're just doing this because he's a criminal that's just been getting away several times. They'll use that as an excuse as well. They have various different hand signs that they use. You need to understand these hand signs are basically military graded based. And what they do is, what they use these hand signs for is a form of communication. Now, here's the funny thing about that. It's one thing for a person to randomly do something like that, but if you catch the same exact thing happening when you're saying that you're being targeted and it's multiple people doing the exact same thing in several different locations, not a coincidence, but very, very obvious, then that points off as being very questionable. When you have people doing the exact same thing in several different locations, that's very questionable. When you got them saying the exact same phrases, the exact same hand signs, the exact same gestures, bringing up the exact same subject over and over and over and over again, that's very questionable. They think acting covert is not exposing them, but they're far wrong about that. You see, the more they act out, the more evidence that gives me. The more time they speak up about their bullshit, the more evidence that gives me. Now, one thing I want to say, they want to several different lines that they want to like to say. They're saying like you can see them. That's a point that technically you're looking at me. I tell you to look at me. No, I didn't. When they saying watch him, that's watch the way he walks. That's a reference to from them stating that they're watching me as I'm walking. Did I tell them to do that? No. Did I tell them to do that? Absolutely not. They chose to do that. They spoke out about it. So basically, they're telling them themselves. I mean, if they want to think that, there you go, again. I mean, if they want to think that way, who am I to tell them not to, right? I mean, that is their logic. Like when a person wears certain types of colors, right? Right? If they want to think and talk about a subject on a daily basis 24/7, who am I not to tell them about that? Although that really does make their own mindset very questionable. But, hey, I don't judge. I don't judge. And as you can see, one of them went outside just because they're getting pissed off about it right about now. I'm gonna keep roasting the fuck out of them though. You can see it because you're staring, sir. That's all that shit is. You are staring. You're trying to say that shit just to try to have something on your side, but in the end, you're the one who's discussing that subject. I didn't put you up to that. You're being paid to do that. That's all that is. That's all that is. That they're just being paid to do that. But I tell you one thing: if I was to try to strike up a conversation to try to literally try to figure out like what the hell's going on, right? They're gonna lie. They're gonna fucking lie. They're gonna play the covert tactic and play like they didn't do shit wrong. That's all that is. You see, one thing of a person who has doubt is that they always have to go to the mofo beside them to get clarification of their own bullshit, to get them to believe their own crap coming out of their mouth, even though it stinks is worse than the shit coming out of their ass. I can keep roasting people all day. I don't mind. This is a free show to me. I never said anything to that guy. But as you can see, that's just what they do. That's what they like to do. They like to play these little bullshit games and stuff, and they like to just keep. I'm just gonna keep roasting. I didn't sign up for this shit, but I'm gonna keep fucking roasting. I'm gonna keep fucking roasting all day because this shit is bullshit. They know it. They know what they're doing is wrong, and when you know you're wrong, you actually tend to question your own judgment. The fact that you got no confidence behind that shit shows that you yourself have absolutely no confidence in the bullshit that you're doing because you know you're doing dirty. You know you're doing wrong. That's why you always go to the side to get confirmation to believe your own bullshit. That's all it is. That's all that shit is. They go to the side to always get confirmation because they have no confidence in themselves. It's pathetic. It's pathetic because if you got no confidence in what you're saying, how do you know if what you're saying is actually the complete truth or not? In which, in this case, is a fucking lie. In this case, this is a damn lie. I gotta tell you, I'm very grateful I became a MGTOW. I thought I would be able to find a decent woman out there, man. But let me tell you, I want to go ahead and get that. You see them bright ass lights? You see that shit? Them blue lights? I wasn't bullshitting about that. That whole fucking thing was set up strategically for me. I wasn't bullshitting about that. You're gonna see blue, you're gonna see red. That's exactly what they do. They are told to have something blue, either clothing, an object of any kind, of anything. Understand, as I'm traveling, these colors are constantly showing. Even now, even as we turn it, you can still see that blue shit. You can still see that out in the distance. I can't make this shit up. This is just exactly what it is. That's precisely what it is. Now, again, they're told to play it off like I'm doing something wrong, but I didn't say jack shit to anybody. I'm just speaking out loud at this point. This is my evidence right here of this bullshit. I'm also gonna leave a warning and a disclaimer so people who is also being targeted to this will be aware that that this is in a video, because I'm not gonna fucking aid in targeting another person by distributing their attempts to somebody else just for them to be traumatized by their shit. I'm not doing that, man. I am grateful that I didn't have any, I did not get married and have a woman bear my children in this type of society, because this is fucked up, man. In so many of the situations is fucked up. But I want to state it again. I didn't tell them to have this subject on the brain. They thought of it. They said it. They brought it out. They talked about it. Did I tell them? Did I pay them to do it? But no, they did it themselves. This is something that they talk about every day, 24 hours a day. That's all they can say, because that's all they're being paid off to say. That's all they're being paid off to do. I want to say it again. I don't deal with these mofos because I didn't put them up to this. They put themselves up to this. They do this shit 24/7, every day. Every day, this is the subject that they always talk about. Did I pay them to do it? No. Did I tell them to do it? No. But they still talk about it, right? They still talk about it. They want to try to call me out, but I mean, you're the one bringing this. You're the one bringing the subject up. You're the one doing this shit as far as what you're doing. I didn't tell you to fucking do that. You did this shit yourself. I mind my own fucking business, and as proof, I mean, my evidence shows it. I didn't fuck with nobody. I was silent. I was silent the entire time. Didn't say shit. But wouldn't you know it, that shit just so happened to happen. I wonder why. I'm gonna state it again. A person who has no confidence in themselves whatsoever always have to get the confirmation from the person to the side. That's what they gotta do, because they know for a fact that what they're doing is wrong, and the subconscious tells them that what they're doing is definitely not right. You need to understand, the mind speaks an entirely different language than the brain. The mind speaks an entirely different language than the brain. What they say is not what they're thinking. But they may be acting like what I'm saying is not bothering them, but that doesn't matter, because you see, I already know what I'm saying is bothering them, and that's all that matters. That's all it takes. That's all that it is. That's all that you need. That's all that you need. Now I want to point out, I'm using my freedom of speech. I'm not threatening nobody. I'm not causing nobody any harm. I came in here to actually handle some investigate on my travels, keep to myself, and that's just it. That's just it. They're gonna keep talking about it. That's all they're ever gonna do. Hey, but like I said, I don't judge. I don't judge. I didn't sign up for this, but I don't judge. If you want to talk about it 24/7, go on ahead. Just understand that that's coming from your mindset. Those are words coming out of your mouth. That's something coming from you. I didn't put you up to that. You put yourself up to that. And the more and more this shit keeps bothering you, the better and better it's getting, because I actually love roasting the crap out of perps. Man, though, let me tell you, though, like, these perps are nothing but a joke, dude. They're nothing but a damn joke. In the end, it's basically nothing but a bunch of nobodies and lames who actually think that, oh, well, like, maybe we get into a collaborated group and maybe we'll become cool. Bullshit. The language that they speak is completely retarded. It doesn't even, the shit that comes out of their mouth, the words that they use don't even mean what they're saying. It doesn't mean what they're saying. They just say the shit because it sounds cool. They just say the shit because it sounds cool. That's the only reason why they do that shit. They say it because it fucking sounds cool. It sounds nice. It just so happened to fit the tone of what they're speaking, but half the shit that was retarded. When they fucking put the grills and shit out there, did they not buy that retarded ass shit? When they put the Jordans out there, did people not buy it? I'm not saying Jordans are a bad shoe, but I'm saying that you're being ripped off, because first off, Jordans only cost like $25 a pair to make, and you're spending how much? Like over $100 on a pair of shoes? Someone got ripped the fuck off. Someone got ripped off. So who's the real fool here when it comes right down to that? You don't even understand. They buy this crap to show it off to people because they don't have confidence within themselves. They need other people to give them that confidence in acceptance because they just want to be accepted. That's it. That's just it. That's all it ever is. They want to feel accepted because their parents didn't give them that feeling that they were supposed to. And it's been a similar situation like this for years. It's been the same shit for years, man, for everybody. I get that, but that doesn't give you the excuse to actually go around doing the bullshit that you're doing to literally try to cause grief on somebody else to gain acceptance from your peers. That's just fucked up. If you can't accept someone else, why the fuck should someone accept you? How do you figure that? But then when you work for an organization like this that's actually got its claws in so much crooked shit, I mean, you lost the ability to ask for acceptance at that point, because you're basically a worker for the opposition to literally take away acceptance from everybody. You know, you take away all of that shit at that point. But this is your sense of justice, right? It doesn't matter whether you destroy a family. It doesn't matter that they gotta end up in a state of poverty. It doesn't matter whether you cost them their job. It doesn't matter whether you break a family apart and a child has to go up in foster care and be raised up with a bunch of strangers. Of who could be, who knows what, by the way, based off the background. You don't know. But it doesn't matter, because by the time the next generation pops up, you won't even be around to even suffer as well as with the suffering that you've been portrayed on the number, right? This is your whole sense of justice, right? It doesn't matter as long as you're not the one end up hurting, right? You a damn fool if you convince yourself that this organization is actually going to let you have your freedom after the RFID chips get passed. You're a damn fool. And I say it loud, and I say it proud. It's as it is. And let me tell you why. And one thing all gang stalkers know, and I can tell because I've witnessed this. I'm not a gang stalker myself. I am a TI, but I've witnessed this through their behavior. Gang stalkers do not trust one another. They don't. They don't. There's a concentrated amount of fear that they do not show, but it's there, and it's very real. They're afraid because they're afraid of becoming the next victim of this organization. They're afraid of becoming the next targeted TI. They're afraid of becoming the next person who's pretty much going to be brought out there and have everything stripped away. But as you can see, if you would have been able to see the stunts that I pulled, I made a fool out of a lot of these bastards. I pissed a lot of them off. And I literally motorboated the crap out of a lot of the tactics to work in my favor. I've outsmarted the shit out of quite a lot of them. And they are witnesses to this. I'm gonna continue to fucking do it too. Every obstacle that they send towards you, remember, it can be undone. Materialistic shit, fuck it. You don't have to freaking put your whole hopes and dreams in that. That can be replaced, but you can't. Don't put your faith in materialistic bullshit. That's something that has no soul. You can dismantle and reassemble something like that. You can buy to get a replacement of that, but you can't buy and get a replacement of another you. You can't do that. I still would love to find myself a woman out there, but honestly, with this bullshit going on, man, you can't trust nobody out nowadays. If you do try to find yourself a woman, they're just gonna fucking use her as a fucking either a gold digger or what is that called? A honeypot attempt, just to get your ass sent straight to prison. That's all they're gonna do. That's precisely what they're gonna do, and that's all it's gonna be about. Now, I know one thing that even from the one thing I will never fear is death. God said it himself. Thou shalt not fear no man, period. It doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter what the fuck comes out of your mouth. I will not be afraid of you. I will not fear you, period. You can't say or do anything to put that fear on you. It's just not going to happen. No matter how much you want it. And you need to understand, a person who's truly afraid of you is so afraid of you that they will literally say or do anything to literally tip the balance of that fear to get you to be afraid of them, so that they don't have to be so afraid. Understand that fear is not yours, it's theirs. The fear that they project onto you, the fear that they try to feed you. Don't buy any of that bullshit. Don't. You're a lot stronger than you know. Everybody is. But unfortunately, not many people have the wants to put in the effort to find that inner strength, you know? And by them not doing it, they allow themselves to be corrupted and literally just, what I like to say, absorbed into the corruption. Now, along with all of this, right? I didn't want to settle down. I didn't want to have kids and all that, because I knew this organization. I had a gut feeling that something bad would happen if I did, and I was right. Looking at my situation, that's already proof enough. That's why I didn't bother settling down. There's several women that tried to make passes at me, but unfortunately, I did not fucking trust this neighborhood at all. I didn't fucking trust anybody in this goddamn neighborhood at all, and I had a good reason to. And now, seeing it play out as it is, I was damn right not to. As far as I know, no one here has any fucking authority to question my sexuality, period. But not with the shit that they're doing. Absolutely not. But they're gonna try to have that privilege regardless. I'm I'm a straight man. I've always since been a straight man since the day I was born, and I intend to stay that way to the day that I die. That's for damn certain. I love women, but I'm not finna be. Hang on. I'm not finna be turned into someone's fucking toy just for their own sick, twisted abuse. That's just not gonna fucking happen. Absolutely not. No. Period. That's not gonna happen. The other thing about this situation is that the honeypot shit is quite a lot more mass produced than I thought. A lot more mass produced. And I honestly actually find this shit fucking hilarious, to tell you the truth, because I'm like, first off, I'm a MGTOW, so the shit with the females is not gonna be that obvious. It's not that I don't find, a woman showing me the titties or showing me the ass appealing, but it's just that, like, I have a set of rules. I don't fucking date at my job. If I'm going to work, I'm going there for money. I'm going there to make a living. There's 101 millions of places I can go to find myself a woman. Why the fuck would I want to jeopardize my own line of work for some shit like that? Knowing how fucking wrecked the damn relationship statuses are nowadays, when a woman can just leave a guy for another guy who has a shit ton of money. Why the fuck would I want to waste my time on some shit like that, knowing how fucked up relations are between men and women are right now? Why would I why the fuck would I even set myself up like that? That's stupid. That's retarded. Any person with enough common sense would know. But unfortunately, judging by the way that the recent generations being raised, they don't know that better. I had the fortunate enough ability to actually meet a lot of old school folks who actually knew about a lot of the bullshit out there, and they told me a thing or two. I'm damn lucky to meet the people that I have met as far as when I was growing up. Because if I hadn't, things would have been 10 times different. Now, even now, I'm still being gang stalked, but honestly, at this point, I'm just speaking out publicly. Actually, let me go back to the meter. As you can see, it's going up and down. As you can see, it was down to 16%, but then it boosted up to like around 50. Now, they're gonna almost every bus stop, they usually swap out. They'll swap the person out after they've did their part, or when they have to send a request that they want to withdraw. Now, when they do this, they're not just doing this to me, they're doing it to any other potential target that's out there in the field that they can do this to. So when they leave one target after doing their perpetration, they're on their way to the next target. Understand that all TIs are in the billions. We outnumber these fuckers a million to 10. A lot. But they are so afraid of us that they don't want everybody to know that. They don't want TIs to band together, because they know that there's more than enough of us to overthrow this bullshit for what it is. They know this. They know this. But they would try as hard as they can to discredit that shit. They want to discredit stuff and use tactics of deflection so you would keep suffering. So you have to keep being tortured 24/7 just so they can fucking live in peace. No one's fucking living in peace, dude. The vape trails are out there. Everybody's breathing this shit in. It's in your system, whether you're a gang stalker or a TI. So whether you want to acknowledge that shit for what it is or not, the poison's still in you. And you really gotta think. Something that's known as far as remote monitoring, remote manipulation. A substance like that is being shown in the people. And you gotta understand, if you're wondering about the disease, like as far as AIDS, did you know that this organization actually fucking put that in the black community? That's right. It was their responsibility, their bullshit, their fucked up scientists that actually caused this shit. It was because they engineered a bioweapon into there to intentionally eradicate the entire black community race. That's exactly what they were doing. So the gang stalkers, even who are working for these people today, they had them out on the hit list too. None of them were excluded from this. None of them were. They all were set there in order to basically be a part of the executionism. So with them trying to push for RFID chips, right? Explain to me where in the hell, after a stunt like that, where the fuck did you get in your head that they actually will spare you? You have to be a damn fool to believe that. And the more and more they try to deflect from the truth, the more and more they try to get acceptance from a person to the side, the only person you're lying to is yourself. That's all that it is. You're just lying to yourself so that you don't have to feel so bad about what you're doing, and you don't have to look at the truth. And the truth is, you're afraid of the truth. Man, they're so fucking afraid of the truth because they can't even handle the truth. They can't handle it. They can't. And deep down, within the inner parts of their soul, if they still have one, that is, they know it to be true. They know it to be true because of the doubt. It's written all over their face. It's written all over their behavior. It's there. It's real. You can lie to your friends. You can lie to yourself. But the truth will always be there to haunt you regardless. And it'll be there with you every day that you wake up, every time you go to sleep, every time you go out and perpetrate the way that you be doing. It will never leave you alone. It will always be stuck to you like Superman. That's a known fact. Why do you think they get so pissed off when someone starts telling the truth? Why do you think they target people who try to tell the truth so much? Because they're afraid of their guilt. But you see, they're going to have to answer this for this eventually. They're going to have to answer for that. They're going to have to. That's apparent. Now, I want to point out that another bombshell that is proof that they do not give two shits about the gang stalkers that they hire off the streets, whether they know this or not. There was evidence that that got shown off of Google Maps, and the Google Maps did not have this literally log onto their chart. And what it was a a massive nuclear fallout shelter with a large list of names of global elites of high-class people. How much you want to bet that not a single damn name of the low-class citizen was on that fucking piece of paper? I would bet $1 million that not a single fucking name, if I had $1 million to give, that not a single one of their names, or not even their family's names, that all were ever on that sheet of paper. But this is the same organization that hires people to try to encourage threats of war with other foreign and neighboring countries. This is the same fucking organization doing this. You see, they want to try to bring forth a new world order that would strip the people of their freedom. Agenda 21 is set in motion for that. That's precisely what it is. They want to portray that out. And I'm telling you what's going to happen. These gang stalkers who seem to be so convinced that just because they're being given these little trinkets, that little gift cards and shit, you got to understand, these people are in mansions. $120 an hour is not shit to them. It's not shit at all. That's just the bottom damn line to it. It's not shit to them because they got more than enough money that they know what to do with. Now, you want to know what's going to happen when they pass the RFID chips? I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. If you don't accept the chips, they're going to send you to prison. You want to know what they're going to do when they send you to prison? They're going to lace your food with nano. Guess what? You're not working, so you don't got no money to buy. You can't walk nowhere to go buy no food. You can't go to no stores. You only can accept the food that they're giving you, and knowing them, they're going to lace it with nano to force you into submission with remote door monitoring, with remote door manipulation. And what that's going to do is turn you over to where you're going to have no choice but to accept the nano-based food, and then eventually accept the nano chip. All of them are going to be chipped, I guarantee you, if they're not already. But it's funny because they convince themselves that just because they're being given something, it can't be taken away. Like, you have to be very stupid to think that just because they can give you something, they're not going to take it away. Crazy. They have targeted people from the inside before. You think they're not gonna do it again? You're not excluded from that shit. No one is. But they still want to convince themselves that, oh, they're good, they're protected. If, mind you, notice how it only takes for a person to piss someone off for them to be a target individual. How petty is that? A person so damn petty that they will literally go as far as putting you on directed energy weapons. A person so damn petty that they will have you stalked relentlessly by nearly the entire fucking community. A person so damn petty that they'll cost you a job. They will cost you your family. They'll do all this evil ass shit and laugh it off like it's something to laugh at. So it's okay for them to. So it's basically okay for them to have a family. It's okay for them to have a car. It's okay for them to have a job. It's okay for them to do this. I want to point out they are telling people to look at me even as we speak. They're telling people to stare even as we speak. That's exactly what all this shit is about. They are hired to do this. That's precisely what it is. Now, I want to point out, when a person's moving around or when they get looking for their stop, they have to look at where they're going. They have to look at where they're stopping at. To tell me that I don't have the freedom to use my own body, that's a sense of control right there. So why would someone try to seize control over someone like that? You don't have no authority over where a person looks and what a person does, but as you can see, they're trying to have authority over that as it is. You don't fucking control me. And you fucking don't have the privilege to do that. Period. You can say whatever the fuck you want. You can think whatever the fuck you want. I stated my piece. I said no. But the fact that a person keeps trying to portray that shit out onto me like that, that shows projection. That's not how. That I may not be that way, but that's how they're trying to project their own inner self out onto someone else who they have interest towards. And this interest can either be through the fact that they're making money from that, or it can be through other means. Maybe they are like that. Maybe they are that way. But I don't judge. But they seem to love to find an excuse to have it on their brains and talk about it 24/7. Do I tell them to do it? No, absolutely not. But they want to fucking talk about it 24/7. So I mean, hey, go ahead. Talk about it to your heart's content. I mean, I don't have no type of. I mean, I don't have no control over what a person says, right? You can feel free to say whatever you want. You can talk about whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. As far as I know, you can do any of that shit. You can do any of that shit. But it doesn't matter because at the same time, that's something coming from you. Those words are coming from your mouth. This whole subject is coming and being projected from you. You know this because you're the one acting out of doing it. And as soon as someone brings it up into question, you're going to act like, oh no, it's just that person. It's just dumb. That's all that shit is. Don't bull fucking shit. I swear, man, a lot of these perps are so fucking phony. It's not even funny. You're fake, a sham, a charlatan, a complete fabrication of what's real, and the truth of the corruption and projection as to what's fake. Because you're being hired to do that on a daily. But you know something? They're pissed off. They get pissed off at you because you're not afraid to be yourself. You're not afraid to actually speak the truth. You're not afraid out there to literally, you literally got the balls to literally tell, saying, no, I'm not gonna be fucking controlled by this shit. You can go fuck yourself for all I care, and I'm gonna go ahead, live my life to the best of my abilities. Regardless of whatever your sabotage does, you can keep sabotaging all you want. I'm gonna undo the shit. I'm gonna expose you for what you are, and that's just what's gonna happen. Whether you want it to happen or not, it's just gonna be just like that. Period. But they don't want you to have a mindset like that. You see, what they want you to do is to put yourself in a state of to literally incriminate yourself, basically. That's what the whole basis of this operation is for. You try having a decent conversation and they know you got enough common sense to expose that shit, the first thing they're gonna do is walk away. You You keep trying to have that conversation, they're gonna turn around saying, well, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? When it's bullshit, and they know it. They know it's bullshit. They know they're full of shit, and they know that they're fake. But they want to say, oh, just keeping it real. Just keeping it real. I swear, man, Chris Brown said it best. They are keeping it real, all right. Real dumb. Real fucking dumb.
Approaching Sherwood Forest and Sherwood Forest Center.
You can't, and it's just as they say, it's a war between both black folks and the niggas. Because they call themselves the N-word, of which I don't even understand. But when I started to read more into it, I started to realize what it was. It's a discrediting attempt to get people to become more accustomed to actually the white supremacist bullshit. Now, here's the thing. I'll acknowledge, yeah, it's a different word. It's used in a different letter. But why use a word so close to a word that was used through hate and slavery? Whatever happened to my sister from another my brother from another mother? Why not use that? That's acceptance, not in a segregated way, but acceptance to everybody. But you see, they would want you to use a tactic that's actually so close to hate. Why are you projecting stuff to hate? Why? Why are you getting pissed off when I ask these questions? Why? Why are you getting so mad in the first place?
Approaching Sherwood and Whistling.
Don't hate me. Hate the organization that turns you into what you are. And in the end, you got no one. You really got yourself to blame because you weren't willing to fight. You've allowed yourself to be consumed, and that's just the end of it. And you're still portraying yourself out as this. I'm gonna tell you, it may not seem like it, but these perps are getting really pissed off right now, and I do not give no fucks. And I'm not even scared to say it. I don't give a shit of how mad they get. I do not care. I do not care. Let them get mad. If you're getting mad, good. I'm happy that you're getting mad. I'm happy that you're pissed off. Because honestly, they caused a lot of suffering to so many people. They caused Gavin Long to do something crazy. And I'm actually convinced that a lot of these people are related to his incident, man. I'm very convinced that they had something to do with that shit. That's why they covered a lot of the media stuff on it. But they still showed that this guy, he wasn't out there trying to take out citizens. He was out there trying to get rid of the cops. But here's the problem. I wish I would have been able to talk to the guy because, first off, even if those cops were corrupt, some cops aren't. But at the same time, you know, with the massive influence of corruption, they are forced in a state of wrongdoing. So even if they were, even if they aren't, you got to understand they can just replace those people. Those cops, they can just replace them, so it defeats the purpose. That's not how you expose this organization for what it is. You use their tactics against them. When they act out, call them out. When they say something, strike up a conversation. If they walk away, leave it alone. But also understand that this is an attempt of deflection. When they say something and it seems to be related around you, simply ask as a stable question. Like, okay, you want to say this, but explain to me why is it that because the situation is that I don't want you to come off as a stalker or nothing. But this seems to be a phrase that actually keeps getting referenced everywhere I go, and I'm doing nothing but just minding my own business. And it's very unusual because it's like these same people who do this, seem to be very interested in gaining my attention. They'll do random shit just to get my attention. Random obnoxious shit just to get it. And as soon as they get my attention, boom, they want to flip the script around and try to hide behind a lie. But you see, what they don't understand about me is that I was raised not to really give a fuck about what people think, whether you are female or dude. I do not give two shits about what you think. Do I have anything to gain from you? Fuck no. Are you paying my bills? No. Are you the very inspiration as to why I keep living? Hell no. So the fact that they get it in their heads thinking that anything that they got to say is gonna literally make me feel bad, it's gonna make me feel depressed, it's gonna make me question myself. the only person you're fooling is yourself. You can lie to everybody else, but like, I mean, I'm gonna know the truth regardless. It's not gonna matter. It's not gonna matter. Because you can tell anybody you want, it won't make a difference. I became a MGTOW because I knew about the bullshit. I knew that this whole fucking thing was systematically corrupt. The court system was just as fucked up, set up to literally get a man in the state to where he'll end up lose his woman, lose his kids, lose his fucking lifestyle, lose his job, and get sent into a situation where they end up in debt, having to pay a shit ton of money to child support, and if they don't pay this shit, they get thrown up in prison. If they don't pay, they get thrown up in prison. This is the shit they represent. It's an old going joke that I find very fucking hilarious. And it's a Dragon Ball Z joke, but it's still fucking funny as fuck. On the last episode of Dragon Weed Z, the Quisha and the Weed Force teamed up against the nigga who owed them child support. Against the nigga who owed them child support. Oh man, dude. Oh man. I could keep cracking jokes all fucking night and it'll be funny as hell. I ought to host a fucking TI comedy session and just roast the fuck out of gang stalkers and the movie bandits and shit as they send them out to do the little stunts that they do. All I got to say is this, look man, when you advertise, if you're a dude advertising yourself to another dude, you're making yourself look gay. I'm just gonna say it as it is. When you do that shit, that's precisely what it is. I said that, I'm into that topic at that. When you sit there and have a discussion about said subject, you make yourself out look like that. You're not making me look like a fool, you make yourself look like a fool. And you always go to the side to get that confirmation. As I said before, they go to the side to get the confirmation from random mofos to convince themselves of their own shit. Like, you could fool yourself, you could lie to yourself and your friends, but I'm not buying your bullshit. You can think that you're fucking fooling me, but that shit's not working. It's not gonna work. I'm gonna keep speaking out, because I'm using my freedom of speech. I'm using my freedom of speech, speaking in a public forum. And people are being poisoned on the daily with vape trails, chemtrails. They are putting Magellan viruses in this shit. And this is exactly what they're supporting. This is something that's getting into not only children, but the elderly. People who have absolutely no fucking idea are being subjugated to this on the daily. They did not submit any type of fucking form of for experimentation. This shit is experimentation because what this stuff is a man-made type of nano. The nano is insect-based. You want to prove that you're infected with this shit, get a right frequency. Get your headphones on. The big fucking headphones. Play that shit up to as loud as you can stand. Leave it on there for about a good 15 minutes. You'll feel this shit start to move around on the inside of your system. You'll feel the crap that they literally infected you with. If you want to prove Magellan exists, get a cup of rainwater after a vape trail passes by. But of course, you won't even need to wait to the vape trail because they always keep that shit around on the clock regardless. It's always going to be in the oxygen. It's always going to be in there. Now, I really want to get them. There you go. As you can see, blue light. A blue light right there. I can't make this up. As I'm going, you can hear the noise attempts that he's doing. They told him to do this because it's like, just go ahead and do the best you can to discredit him. That's all that is, man. That's all that is, and he fucking knows what he's doing. The shit that he's so filled up with is even stinkier than the shit that comes out of his ass, man. You're not fooling no fucking body. And the people who are just baiting you with the bullshit are paid to do it. But you gotta understand, the mind speaks a different language than the mouth. They talk about this shit every day, 24 hours a day. I don't put them up to it. They're paid to do it. And let me tell you, the fact that a dude would be comfortable as a fucking booty bandit like that, man, it makes their sexuality really fucking questionable. It really does. Like, the fact that you would be willing to do that for money makes it very questionable, because there's no telling what else the fuck you may be willing to do for money related to that subject. And that's where it relates to the sagging shit. But people who don't know what that sagging shit is about, that's something that came out of the prison systems, the state penitentiary. A lot of homosexuals were doing that for a lot of effed up reasons that I will not go into. But a lot of the younger folks saw that mess and thought it was cool, so when they got out of there, they started advertising that without even understanding what that really was. Now, I'm gonna throw another dive bomb for you. The term swag stands for secretly, the W stands for we, and then the next part of it stands for gay. That's what that is. It's secretly, we are gay. That's exactly what that is. That's what that shit stands for. But they advertise that shit through the hip-hop industry all the fucking time. You ever find that suspicious how they actually will say, oh, like, that motherfucker got that swag shit going on? Dude, that shit is not what you think it is. And that shit actually goes back into the history days. That was, what that shit was it was an old systematical party system where they had these hidden parties where they had this really fucked up orgy shit that they were doing back in the past. If you don't believe me, look SWAG up for yourself and you'll see it. Look that shit up, man. That's the shit that they advertise. If you were to go on BET, they talk about that shit all the time. All the time. All the time, man. It's a crazy state of affairs, though. It really is.